If you want to preach the word of God, you go to your church. Are you getting me? You are causing pollution. You cannot come to a marketplace and begin to disturb everybody else. Are you getting me? If you want to preach the word of God, you go to a church. The person who wants to come to your church will come to your church. But you don't force everybody. In a marketplace, people have come to trade. It's not a church. So you don't do that. They would have arrested you, contravening the law. Okay? You don't come out and take a space and start preaching. It's noise. Uno na nukwu ya? Ọ dị ka ndị na-eje welu microphone wepụta na n'ọnụ ụzọ n'ime afịa bido na-akpọ ịbada. You are polluting the place. It's illegal. Okay? Everybody has freedom of worship. If you want to worship, we protect everybody. But you don't go to the middle of a market where people are coming to trade and turn it into a church. Otherwise, we'll be charging you for this space.
Go in the world to make disciples for Christ. And I want to advise everyone, if you are really called to preach, to evangelize about Jesus, do not give up because of anybody. Someone using his position to intimidate. Hear me, the disciples was intimidated many a times. They were persecuted many a times because they preached the gospel. They tried to stop them many a times. They were arrested. They didn't give up. They refused to give up. In making a disciples for Jesus, you must have the spirit of boldness. That was why in Acts of the Apostles chapter 4, the Bible said, and the believers gathered together in the upper room and prayed for boldness. They prayed for the spirit of boldness because in Acts of Apostles chapter 3, they were persecuted because they healed a lame man. So preaching the gospel, whether in the market, whether in the hospital, in anywhere, is not a crime. And as a believer, you should not be afraid. As an evangelist, you should not be afraid of someone arresting you because you preach the gospel. You should be happy that you are arrested because you preach the gospel than keeping calm. If it was on the days of the apostles, you will see the radical, the zeal. That is the way they will show their stubbornness, because that is what they are called to do. Paul was arrested because he preached the gospel. Peter was arrested, and so many of them. Paul was arrested and put inside prison, the same thing with Peter. And you were told that they should have arrested you, but they just want to leave, and you close your mouth. If you are called for the sake of the gospel, don't close your mouth. Preach the gospel at any time and anywhere you find yourself. Let men arrest you. Let men persecute you. If you are persecuted because of the gospel, you have a reward. And you should be ready to receive insult. You should be ready to be insulted. You should be ready to receive beating for the sake of gospel. If you are really sure that you are called to preach that